So I've seen a lot of people on the internet talking and hating the movie Emilia Perez. So I was like, the movie cannot be that bad. So I decided to watch it and to form my own opinions. And yeah, it's bad. It's so bad. Like,
cortó la lana, cerró la llave, no funciona ninguna tarjeta, todas mis cuentas están bloqueadas, me quiere robar a mis hijos. Y ahora mi lana.
But I want to give you my reason why I found this movie to be bad. The top 3 reasons why I think this movie sucks is the script, the acting, and the artistic choices that they made in this movie. So boom, you have this lawyer and she's like talking about how much she hates her job. She is contacted by this drug lord called Manitas, which translates to little hands, just an FYI, and tells her like, hey, I need you to do something for me. I need you to work for me and something. She's like, okay, I accept. What do you want me to do? He's like, okay, I need you to find a doctor because I'm trying to become a woman. She's like, okay, bet, I'll do it. She finds a doctor, boom. So now Manitas is a woman, now he's a she, boom. Then she's in London and this lady starts talking to the lawyer. She's like, oh my god, are you Mexican? Me too, woo, 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 woo. Come to find out, that's Manitas. She's now Emilia Perez. She's like, oh, I need you to do a second job for me. Bring my family back. Like, I want them in Mexico because I cannot live without my family. Boom, she does that. And now, the thing is that Emilia Perez, she wants to like give back to the community or help the community. She does this foundation to help families find their missing family members. Like, let's say you got a cousin who is missing, who is probably dead, so she will help you find the body, or you know, your cousin, whatever it is. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the plot of the movie. Now, my thing is, when you watch the movie, it's very confusing because you really don't know what the point of the story is. Because at first, the story, I thought it was going to be about a transgender woman, or what is it that transgender women go through, like the journey of a transgender woman from the beginning of her transformation, during her transformation, and after her transformation, like how much her life changes. You don't see none of that because she goes from, you know, she was Manitas. You see a little bit of her having the surgery and then she's already like a full woman. So they don't tell you the story of the problems or shortcomings that a transgender woman might have. So the story, that's not the point of the story. The story is not the story of a transgender woman. Then the other plot of the story, it's the story takes place in Mexico, or it's about Mexican culture, but not really. Because you don't see nothing about Mexico. You don't see nothing about Mexican culture. They just tell you that they are Mexicans. But if you speak Spanish like me, you know for a fact that they are not Mexican. They just mention Mexico, but they don't show you Mexico, or they don't make an effort to show you Mexico. They don't show you the culture of Mexico. They don't show you, I don't know, problems that you might find in Mexico. They touch bits and pieces here and there about Mexican culture, but not really. So the story is not about a transgender woman. The story is not about Mexican culture or Mexican people. And then the other thing that the story might be about is from the point of view of the lawyer, all the things that that lawyer went through to get her money. But like, the story is not about a lawyer going through law school and having a difficult client, like, you know, like Better Call Saul. That story is not like that. It's not about a lawyer either. So when you finish watching the movie, at least my question was, what the f was this movie about? What was the point of this story? What was it that the author, the creator, the director of the movie wanted to tell me? What was the story? Nothing. Like, it has no plot. That's my biggest problem. It has no plot. It starts somewhere and you think like, oh, that's gonna be the plot, and then that ends nowhere. And then it has another subplot and that subplot ends nowhere. So what is the plot? What is the point? The script of the movie is weak, it's trash, it doesn't work, it doesn't tell you anything. It's just bad.
Hasta me duele la pinche vulva nada más de acordarme de ti.
I think my biggest problem with the acting of the movie is that they keep saying that they are Mexicans, but they don't sound Mexican. A lot of people like to sweep under the rug voice acting, but voice acting is very much part of the acting. You know, like, if you're going to act in a movie, for me, you need to deliver the voice acting as well. Because imagine this, imagine that I make a movie and I say this movie takes place in New York. It's about 3 New Yorkers that live in New York and they are going to, I don't know, rob a bank. I don't know, whatever. And then when you play the movie, New Yorker number 1 sounds British.
I sort of have to think like...
New Yorker number 2 sounds like he's from Texas.
Howdy world.
And New Yorker number 3 sounds like she's from the Valley of California.
She's like this whole like situation.
You will think like, wait, I thought this was a movie about 3 New Yorkers in New York. Why do they sound British, Southern, and from the Valley? Like, why?
Are you from New York even? Yeah. Are you from New York even? Do you have a big black puffer jacket even?
And then I come up with some shitty excuse like, no, oh, so the first New Yorker sounds British because he actually spent half of his life in the UK. And then the second New Yorker sounds like he's from Texas because he spent a few times in Texas. He used to be a barbecue cook in Texas, some bullshit like that. And then I say the third New Yorker actually sounds like she's from the Valley because she went to school there and she picked up the accent of the California Valley accent.
I'm not talking unless y'all giving me land and 2,000 or more every week. You hear me?
So what's the point of me saying that these 3 characters are New Yorkers from New York if they don't sound like they're from New York? You get what I'm saying? Like, you will get pissed off. You will say like, so why are you saying that they're New Yorker? They're not. The same thing happens in Emilia Perez. Like, I feel like a lot of people maybe didn't pick up the difference in accent because they don't speak Spanish. So if you don't speak Spanish, you don't really hear the difference. You just hear Spanish and that's it. But if you're going to make a movie where they speak Spanish, trust that Spanish speakers are going to watch that movie. So I don't understand how they think, they always do this shit, bro, and it really bothers me. I don't understand how they think that you can just get away with it doing a shitty accent or an accent that is not from that area that you're trying to say that your characters are from. Like they did the same thing in Narcos.
Es el coronel José Luis Herrera.
Zoe Saldana, even though I'm not saying she cannot act, she certainly can act, and I feel like in terms of the acting, I feel like she did the best that she could, but the accent in Spanish was not there. And the same thing with Emilia Perez, actress. Her character, there's a scene where they say like, oh, she's been living outside of Mexico, so that's why she kind of lost the Mexican accent.
Anyways.
The same thing happens with Selena Gomez's character. Well, they never said nothing about Selena Gomez's character. You assume that she's from the United States because there's a scene where she says that, oh, maybe we can go back to the States with my sister. So you assume that she's from the United States, but they never say nothing. I want to think that the character is from the United States and that's why she spoke Spanish so bad.
Le preguntaba a Rita quién era el tipo que está contigo.
You can tell that Spanish is not her first language. That's not even the problem anymore. The problem was that she wasn't enunciating her words. Like she was not trying to say the words correctly. She was, a lot of the scenes, she was like mumbling. I was having a hard time understanding what she was saying, not necessarily because of her accent, but because she wasn't trying to say the words.
Sí. ¿Tú quién chingados te crees para decirme eso, pinche vieja lencha?
It really pissed me off because all these people, like all these actresses, they have the resources to hire a dialect coach. It's your job as an actor to not only act with your face and with your hands and whatever it is that you're trying to do when you act, but you need to remember the voice acting. Like, oh my, I cannot believe people don't care about voice acting. It's just as important as you're acting with your body. And that's why I like actors like, I don't know, Robert Pattinson. I feel like he does a very good job in trying to mimic accents.
Taking care of themselves. You're either leeching off mommy, or leeching off welfare, or living off the government in jail. That's you!
So that y'all can have a share of the good meat tonight.
Even though he's British, or other British actors, when they need to do an American role, you see that they really commit, like they really change their British accent to an American accent, like Millie Bobby Brown.
Yesterday, the way you looked at me, you were scared of me.
I built this shit! Me! Brick by brick! And I'll be damned if I let you tear it down just because you don't like the way another nigga talk.
They really are doing their job. Like, they're not only doing the acting with the body, but they're also doing the acting with the voice. So that's another thing. They could have hired Mexican actors. And the casting director said, no, like, we were looking everywhere, but this is the best that we got. Really? Selena Gomez acting was the best that you can find?
Hasta me duele la pinche vulva nada más de acordarme de ti.
She's saying, oh my god, with just the thought of you, like my aches. Look at the acting. Is she transmitting that her pussy is aching for that man? No. Girl, like, I want to see you yearning for that dick. Like, you're not telling me, or you're not letting me know that you really need that. You get me? Like, you need that biblically. Like, she's not giving that performance. She's not acting like she needs that expeditiously. Like, she needs that or else she will die. Because that's what she's saying. Like, oh my god, like, I need that. I need that today. I need it. I need it. I need to see you. I need that. And her acting is not saying that. Like, her words are not saying that. Her acting is not saying that. Her face is not saying that. Like, the scene is just bad all over the place. It's just so bad, bro. I feel like she didn't even try.
Man to woman.
From penis to vagina.
The artistic choice that I liked the least was the fact that this is a musical. There's no reason, or it doesn't make sense, why this movie is a musical, other than the director or the creator of the movie was trying to be also artistic. A movie like The Little Mermaid, besides the movie being from Disney, I get why the movie has songs and why the movie has people singing and this and that, because she's a mermaid, and that's what mermaids do, they sing. But this movie having songs, it doesn't make no sense. Why are people singing in this movie?
Lady, will you please tell your Mr. Mystery instead of having plastic surgery?
The songs were so bad. They weren't even rhyming. It wasn't catchy. The vocals were not there. Like, why are we singing? It was giving drunk karaoke song. That's what it was giving. As a matter of fact, I think that the fact that this movie is a musical made it more unbearable to watch. And then I don't even want to get into the other things that are happening outside of the movie of Emilia Perez, like the director of the movie saying shit like, oh, I don't need to learn Spanish and I don't need to know that much about Mexico to do a movie in Spanish and about Mexico or in Mexico.
C'était que l'espagnol est une langue de pays émergent, c'est une langue de pays modeste, de pauvres, de migrants.
Insane thing to say. Or the thing that is happening right now with the tweets of the actress of Emilia Perez.
Wow, man. Damn.
And also the thing that is happening that this is having like, I don't know, 13 nominations for an Oscar. I do not get it. Like, who is this movie for? Because certainly Mexicans didn't like this movie. The general public didn't like this movie. The trans community didn't like this movie. I haven't seen nobody from the trans community saying like, oh yeah, this movie has a powerful message. Like, just because a movie talks or has characters that belong to a minority doesn't mean that that movie is a good movie. It's bad. Now, I want to talk about Johanne Sacreblue.
Porque es divertido. Sí, tal vez puede ser, pero...
A movie made as a response to Emilia Perez. In the movie, they kind of like make fun of stereotypes of France, like baguettes, croissants, rats, everybody is a mime. Like, they're doing this movie in response to Emilia Perez because they're saying like, oh, this is how we felt when you made that movie of Emilia Perez. Like, this is how we felt that you represented our country and our culture. So you can understand how dumb you look by doing that movie of Emilia Perez. Now, I feel a little bit bad for French people because they're catching strays just because a French director decided to make this godforsaken movie. But I really believe in fighting fire with fire. I feel like the best way to respond to somebody that has made a dumb movie about your country, your culture, or a group that you belong to, you need to make a dumber movie about them and let them have it.
Man to woman, a penis to vagina.